People always say, oh, trust the process. Okay, but what if the process is making you broke? What if the process is making you sad and depressed? My word of the year last year was trust. Every year I pick a new word to basically be like the theme of my year. One year it was courage. I don't know if you could see that. My coach gifted that to me because she saw the evolution of my courage that the previous year and decided to give me that as a reminder. So I knew coming into 2024 that I needed more trust in my life. And I don't mean from other people or outside sources. I did not trust myself. And I learned that prior going to the Beyonce concert. Of course, the day of the Beyonce concert, I realized, yeah, I don't trust myself. In a sense that I'm constantly in a fear of failure, doubt, and I'm not willing to commit even when things aren't going right. I'm not willing to stick it out or endure it or face it, right? And then I'm kind of just generally speaking there. It doesn't apply to everything in my life because obviously I've made some major leaps of faith that required trust, but it was something about going into my 40s that I wanted to just start challenging a lot of my norms and some of my thinking patterns and habits and realizing I just lacked a lot of trust, which is why I would give up. I had no consistency. And when you don't have trust, you don't believe in something. So when you don't believe in something, again, that's where the consistency starts to falter. I didn't know how the word trust would unveil itself to me or uncover itself to me, but throughout the entire year, because God's not going to give you situations where you just become more trustworthy of whatever you're seeking. He's not going to just make you patient. He's going to put you in situations that require you be to trust, to be patient, to be disciplined, to be kind, to be nicer. Whatever you are wishing and needing in your life to improve in. And I just had to trust. People always say, oh, trust the process. Okay, but what if the process is making you broke? What if the process is making you sad and depressed? And part of me was like, well, maybe this is a part of that process that I need to endure. Now, this is not for everyone. I'm going to keep repeating this. This is my journey. This is my testimony, if you will. This is what I went through because I knew I could handle it. And some may say this is torture, this is ridiculous, just go get a job and fix it all. Exactly. That isn't the mindset I am wanting to get away from. Always having to fix the problem with a quick solution. So I had to literally go through an entire trust fall for the majority of 2024, like that summer throughout the winter, coming into the new year now, 2025, because, and I'm going to give examples, don't worry, this isn't just fluff or me throwing out, cliches. Losing it all, and all is a general statement. I didn't lose it all, but when it came to my mindset and my value and how I valued and looked at myself and how my mood was determined, it was all rooted in money. So yeah, I'm losing money quick. I'm back in debt. Oh my God. I don't know how I'm going to pay for all these bills. Business is dropping at a rapid pace because I'm also not investing in the business. I'm discouraged about my business. I don't like the work I do anymore. I'm tired of working for these clients that don't appreciate me. And once again, I felt like I was back in that rat race. So I was like, well, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? And mind you, I had so much money last summer, but I didn't know how to appreciate it or respect it or use it or spend it. I talk about financial literacy education, but I panicked. I got into a state of panic and I couldn't see clearly. in those moments. So in a way, I feel like God was starting to take all these things away from me so I can trust God more, which eventually would turn into me learning how to trust myself more. Then I'm able to trust the process. And then I'm able to introduce things like abundance, right? Or just the concept of enough. Because there's enough and then there's abundance. The topic I'm still learning and embracing. But when it came to trust, I remember in the sixth or seventh grade, maybe eighth grade, I don't know, middle school, we went on these retreats and we would have to do trust falls where your group that you were put with would stand together with their arms on top of each other, holding like as a secured thing, and the person would get on a table and then fall backwards into their arms, hence the name trust fall. And I always think about that moment, like I really trusted these 12-year-olds to catch me. And we all did. Then I was like, well, how can I embody some of those feelings of just letting go and surrendering? And that's when it clicked. I wasn't embodying whatever I needed to accomplish in my life, whether it was following through with my clients, whether it was posting on YouTube consistently. God took it all away. The money, the desire to create, business, energy, ability to travel, so many things. Relationships started changing. I started changing. I started seeing things and viewing things differently, to the point where I was just like, I have nothing else left but to trust. Sometimes you get so far down into the dumps, you realize the only way back is up. So imagine you're sitting here. I was sitting on this couch multiple times, just stuck. Like, I'm really about to lose it all. And when you start to be more grateful and have more gratitude, you realize you didn't lose it all. You're just losing a portion of your life. Did those portions feel like I was losing everything? Absolutely. But realistically, I was just being redirected into a newer path in my life that I didn't understand. I just didn't understand what was happening. But the moment I let go and let God literally and just focused on today, like, well, what can I control today? I'm too anxious. I keep thinking about, this is how much money I have left. What am I going to do? And even, you know what? And I will say, even when I did apply for jobs, it wasn't happening. Like, nothing was happening. So it's just like, what is this supposed to be? Like, I can't just sit here and skip bills. I can't not pay my bills. I can't not pay my credit card. I can't do that. I can't do that. And God was like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? And I was like, yes. Very hesitantly. And all of a sudden, the moment I just said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to let everything fall apart. Some things I didn't expect to fall apart, but they did. And by the time those things happened, I was already deep in the faith of trusting God and myself, because Lord, the things that I went through the rest of the year were just unexpected. But financially, learning to let go and trust that my value and identity are not tied to money is always a lesson that I won't ever forget. And my word being trust last year literally meant, and again, I think because God knows I can handle this. I know I can handle this, and that's an exercise in trust. I just let everything fall apart. I surrendered. I surrendered to the fact that, well, let's just see what happens. If I lose it all, how is this going to make me a better person? How is this going to build my character? How is this going to give me more clarity on what I need to do next, versus just filling the time and space with another job? Going back to the rat race for real, that God is so good. For the last, I hit 7 years this year of being self-employed. You know how big of an accomplishment that is? And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but that is a feat. That is a big, big, big deal. Knowing everything that I've endured in the last couple of years, the highs, the lows, the losses, the debt, and I might sound like a record player on repeat, but it's true. You know, and each week I'm coming in here sharing a part of myself that it was a very vulnerable and sensitive time for myself. And if you feel like maybe I'm just hitting the surface, it's because, well, I am, because maybe I don't want to go into every detail quite yet. But what I am sharing is a big step compared to where I was last year and just giving up. And I did give up a lot of times, and especially in my 30s. I just would give up, and I didn't know that was a pattern of mine. And because I gave up, I lacked follow through. Because I lacked follow through, I just didn't get much done until ish got serious, and I had no choice but to get ish done. So, in this journey of trust and learning about myself, it was truly just the moment I said, you know what, just take it all. I don't need it. Take the money, take the job, take it. If this means I need to start fresh, let's do it. That's an opportunity. I had to remind myself, like, failure is an opportunity for growth. Failure is not end all be all. Okay? Losing things, taking L's, opportunities, blessings are on the other side. I just had to build my endurance to trust, my endurance to live and endure that scariness, those scary times, those feelings of like, I'm just going to have to skip the bill this month and see what it feels like. And then you come out on the other side and you're like, that wasn't so bad. And now I can catch up on this bill. And I don't recommend, us falling into these habits of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because you're going to see in my next vlog just what I went through earlier in the months. Cutting up credit cards, swallowing my pride and ego, and calling creditors and banks and letting them know I ain't got it. Does it make me any less of a person? Does it make me a worse person? No. If anything, it makes me more honest. And honesty is always the best policy. So, those are real deep breaths and sighs of relief, because where I was just a ball of tension for no reason, I was a ball of tension. And the moment I started to just let go, surrender, pray more, and just focus on what I can control in those moments, and was so grateful, switching my attitude to just, what am I grateful for today? Like, instead of complaining for the next 5 minutes, let me be grateful for the next 5 minutes. And that eventually just evolved into more trust, and more trust. We don't realize we seek trust and validations from outside sources, but truly that trust needs to come from within. Everything has to come from within. That's why I do these vlogs, because I want to show you guys where I'm at, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Not to say that you need to be just like me or follow my template, but if I can just, if you could take one thing away from me at this point in time, is just give you a chance. Give yourself a chance. It's worth it. And it's honestly more fun. Let go of the strings that are holding you back. Let go of the being a ball of tension and stress, and see what you can let go and surrender. Ask for help. Whether it's asking for help from someone you love, or someone you don't know, or someone you might have just met. And help doesn't always have to be monetarily. Help can be, yo, do you have any words of encouragement for me today? Yo, can I just borrow $20? I'm starving and I haven't eaten lunch since yesterday. Or, hey, do you want to go play basketball? To get your mind off of things, Whatever you're going through in life, give yourself a chance and help yourself and trust it's all going to work out. And breathe and breathe and breathe and thank God every second of your waking day. It works. I love you guys. Give me a follow, subscribe, all that, and let's have some fun. More vlogs on the way. Thank you for watching if you made it this far, and just remember, life is a blessing. It's your girl Lilz. I'm out. Trust God, trust yourself, trust the process, trust the abundance. You are enough, you have enough, and enough is enough. Amen.